I texted you, and good morning to Keyshawn Johnson and to Paul Pierce. I'm about to don my gold medal. I'm going to put it on again.
Put it on.
It's the one that Duck Boat Paul already awarded before the games began, because yesterday they looked golden. It looked over.
What?
And that's thanks to LeBron, and especially thanks to Kevin bleeping Durant, who had, under the circumstances, I thought the most extraordinary game I have ever witnessed.
Man.
So, Paul, tip us off here. How do you describe the impact KD had on that basketball game?
First of all, what did I tell y'all last week? What did I tell y'all?
You said
Skip?
KD would start.
No,
If
I
he's
said
going to play, you said he'd start. That's what you told me. That's what you said. He's got to start.
I would start him.
Oh, okay.
But I said KD is just a baller. If I had one shot for my life, who'd I say? KD, right?
Who'd I say? I'm with you.
Come on. Y'all got to be kidding me. KD don't need no practice. Y'all talking about, well, he didn't play in the exhibition season and all of that. I said he don't need none of that.
First of all, stop talking about y'all, but go ahead.
Okay. Keyshawn and Skip. Y'all said.
Ain't no Keyshawn and Skip. Just go ahead,
KD needed practice. I said, man, Skip, let me tell y'all something. He can step right on the court. He's plug and play. It's exactly what I said. He came and showed y'all that. Listen, KD is the best scorer on the planet still. Calf injury and all, 7 feet. He don't need a lot of dribbles. He gets to his spot. And I did say this. I said, you know what? They said, how would they fare versus Serbia? I said, you know what? The spread was like 14 or 15.
12 and a half.
It was 12 and a half. I said, they're not going to cover the spread if KD don't play. But if KD plays, oh, yeah, they're going to cover the spread. And what he showed you why he is one of, if not the greatest basketball Olympian player the U.S. has ever seen. Scoring-wise, because he has all the records. We know what he does in just a short period of time. And KD's the difference. He's going to be the reason we're going to be talking about this team maybe better than the 92 Dream Team. And that's what gets them over the hump, having Kevin Durant at his best. So his impact is undeniable. We saw it yesterday, and that's why with KD out there, they played their best game since joining together. And we will continue to see this throughout the rest of the Olympics, period.
Yeah, I don't think they'll ever be considered better than the 92 team because they struggled to a degree in the practice game. So that erased that out of everybody's mind. They got to basically...
They could go on a run.
That's what I was going to say, Skip. I was going to say they basically got to score.
They do.
They got to score ridiculous. They got to blow people out from here on out for even us to even think that, because...
To compare them to the 92?
Yeah, because in our minds, those practice games, South Sudan struggling a little bit against Australia, whatever you want to call Canada early on, just those games, Germany, people going to be like, nah, because the 92 team would have never let that happen, even though they took care of business like I thought they would, 12 and a half plus 5, Skip. That means that I was up by 17 and a half. So as it was sitting there, and it was like 18, 19, I could say, come on, man, y'all got to finish strong. I can't go back in here and listen to Skip scream and holler, I told you so. They wasn't going to be able to cover this way. But they did. They took care of business. And a lot of the reasons to take care of business is Kevin Durant. I mean, at one point, the man was 100%. Now, in an NBA game, I've never seen, and maybe you guys have, seen a guy be efficient, not 100% shooting 2 for 2. Not that. I'm just talking about 5 for 5 from 3, knocking it down, 8 and 8 all the way around, free throws, whatever you want to call it. I've never seen that before, but his game clearly lends itself to the international game, whatever that means. I mean, catch and shoot, create your own shots. You can put him almost at any point on the floor, and he's going to get his buckets.
He's just a baller. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to really describe it. Like, when people say he's a baller, you just a natural gift for basketball. Like, he don't need to, like, work on nothing. It looked like he could just walk in the gym and just start making jumpers and just doing all kind of skill work where guys, you can tell he worked on that.
But the best...
Like, not that KD didn't work on it, but you know what I'm saying.
The best shot of all shots, though, was the runner from left to right underneath the basket when he fell on the ground. It just...
The last shot of the half.
Was it the last shot of the half?
Yeah.
I was just sitting like, man, this dude here, Skip. There's nothing you can do.
Dude.
And then LeBron, obviously, and Ant-Man cashed in, and Steph did what he needed to do. So the depth is just so deep, and Tatum didn't even play. Think about that. They didn't even need one of the superstars of the NBA to even chip in and help him.
A 3-time All-NBA player the last 3 years. First team All-NBA was Jason Tatum, and he did not play a second yesterday, and they did that because of him. He was him yesterday.
Mr. Olympic.
Mr. Olympics.
And they had Bogdanovich and everybody else.
They had them all.
It didn't matter.
But I'm going to go a step deeper on this.
Okay.
To me, if for whatever reason Kevin had not been cleared to play, and Brian Windhorst reported he was not cleared until less than an hour before the game by the whole medical staff, and there's Phoenix Suns people involved, and Steve Kerr, and all the med people, and all the coaches, and all the Kings men, they're all there. And it wasn't until less than an hour before game time they said, okay, you can go, but you can't start. He was the 10th man off the bench. We'd already we'd played 9 players before he stepped onto the floor with 2.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Here's my deepest point. If he, for whatever reason, his calf wasn't quite ready and they said no to him yesterday, let's save him for one more game and we'll ease him in against South Sudan and Puerto Rico in the next 2 group play games. If that had happened, I don't think we win that game yesterday. Listen, when he stepped on the floor, it was 20-14 Serbia. And obviously Serbia jumped off to a 10-2 lead. We rallied back, we took the lead back, and then here they came again. And Joker had just gone off the floor for his first rest with 2.5 minutes left in the first quarter. And Kevin comes in and seconds later takes and makes his first 3. And I'm like, what? And then a few more seconds passed, and we go into the second quarter, and he takes and makes his second 3. And that flurry, it's just little more than 1 quarter worth of work. He scores 21 points. In an Olympic game, it's just hard to do. There aren't as many shots. It's so physical, and the play is so furious, and the effort on defense is all out on both sides. It's hard to score 21 points in little more than a quarter, and that man did that. And if we could see them quickly, the shots that he's making, I just thought, okay, well, one of these times he'll miss one, won't he? Because he hasn't played at all since April. He hasn't played since April in a real game. And here we go. This is the first one. And again, there's a guy there. He just like cold-blooded, like, I'm going to shoot it. He said after the game, my idea was to go out and just be aggressive. But look at this. It's just ridiculous. It is ridiculous. That's contested. Swish. One-legged, swish, little Nowitzki, and swish. And now we're getting to that last play off the pick. Boom. And that ended the half. And they go from down 6 when he steps on the floor to up 9 at halftime, and the game was over. You could just see Serbia got shot right between the eyes and right in the heart by Kevin Durant.
But they started off slow all practice games. They never really every game slow. So I wouldn't think that just because he didn't play that they would lose this game. For whatever reason, first quarter's always been slow for them.
Boy, it felt like they were going to get run off the floor early because
it felt that way against
it was
everybody.
Turnover, bucket, turnover, bucket, turnover, bucket. And then Joel Embiid steps to the free throw line and misses 2 free throws. I'm saying, what are you doing, man? Come on.
So what are you doing?
No, seriously.
Right.
And yet that stretch just flipped the game on its head.
Mm-hmm.
In that last play, Steve Kerr said, I called it in the huddle, and I kind of drew it up in the dirt, so to speak, because we'd never practiced it at all. Mm-hmm. And Steph picks for KD on the baseline, and Steph will give his body up, man. He will take punishment to free KD, and then LeBron just hits him right in.
Well, like I told you, though, Skip, you kept saying that they was going to lure them to sleep, and it might have been Joker was in the crowd watching and scouting and doing.
Well, I didn't know if you told me Kevin was going to do that, I'd say just call off the rest of the game.
But then you also said to me, this is so hard to read their box scores, but you also told me they would be more efficient at shooting threes because that's what they do.
The Serbia. Yeah, well, they weren't yesterday.
Not at all.
9 of 37?
9 of 37. And think about what we did.
Okay, and by the way, they came out in the third quarter when I told you they'd been shot in the heart, and Serbia goes 0 for 9 from 3 in the third quarter, and the lead just kept growing and growing and growing, and then just went completely out of control. And even you underestimated because they won by 26 points, right?
Well, look, in the end, the line changed. It went from 15 to 12.5, but I always felt like they was going to cover and then some.
Well, if you told me Kevin Durant was going to play, period,
Right.
like to your point, if he's going to play and he's going to be okay.
We saw the highlight. All you need to
One
do.
dunk?
That's all
you need to see. And it wasn't like one dunk. It was coming from underneath the basket from left to right. And he jumped from one end side to the other side. So when you look at it.
He's only 7 feet tall.
I know, but you still got to push off. You got to push off, though.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I got it. So.
I mean, his impact is going to be undeniable. I mean, he's the best shot maker on the team. Like I was watching that video, and he probably only took about 3 dribbles total on all his points.
Yeah, it was kind of like Clay-esque.
He's like a no-nonsense player. And what I mean by that, and the reason he's plug and play is because he's not a ball-dominant player. He gets right to his action. And so when you got a guy LeBron, who pretty much needs the ball in his hands to kind of control what's going on, when you got guys like Anthony Edwards, who kind of needs the ball, and Tatum, these guys all need the ball to kind of work their little, magic. It takes them a few dribbles to get to it. But when you watch Kevin Durant, and the reason he can play with anybody and the reason he was so successful with the Golden State Warriors is because you don't have to run a lot of plays for him. A simple down screen, get it to him on the elbow, swing it to him. With his man on him, he's already at 7 feet. He can just shoot right over him. And that's why he's the difference maker. When he played for Team USA yesterday, they had a lineup with like him and LeBron James were the 4 and the 5. That's going to be difficult. That's a nightmare to deal with when you already got Devin Booker on one side, then you got Drew Holiday and a number of guys, Anthony Edwards. It's just a nightmare for teams to defend, and that's why I said he tips the scale for me when we talk about this team being better than the 92 team, because if he's healthy and he plays all through these Olympics, this will be the greatest team we lay eyes on, fellas. So moving forward,
I need to see more.
We need to take note.
I do. I need to see like 5 more games.
It's just hard, though.
Yeah.
It's just hard to give them that.
It's just like,
I get it.
But like
but
the name, like you look back at the '92 team and you say, "Oh, Larry," Larry, Magic, and Jordan.
But you can look back at this team and say the same thing with these names.
Well, let's just put in perspective. Like, look, Magic and Bird were past their prime.
Completely. It's all about that.
LeBron is older than them right now, but he's still in his prime.
Yeah.
So you're saying LeBron at 40, but it's still LeBron. You're saying KD at 35 and Curry at 35, they're still them. Whereas these guys weren't them. It was
Magic was still Magic for that little bit of Olympics.
In 92.
For the Olympics, I said.
Magic was retired.
I said for the Olympics.
But Magic was retired. There's nobody on this USA team that's retired. And Bron is probably still 2 years away from retirement.
5.
This is all of them. Now, if you had told me this dream team right here, if this was like 88, it'll be different. Now you got Magic in his prime, Bird in his prime, Jordan about to enter his prime, Barkley, it'll be different. But I'm looking at who they were when they got there, and they were so much better than the world. They only had one, what they say I saw, they only had one professional player playing in the Olympics outside of the U.S., whereas now it's probably more than 60 pros in the Olympics. The Olympics got better, but so did the players on our Olympic team. Yeah. So this is, guys, take heed. This is going to be the greatest Olympic team we've ever seen.
I got to see more, though, Paul. Yeah. I just got to see.
Okay, so, Paul, are we going to make 18 of 32 threes every game
possible.
for
That's
here?
Possible.
Okay,
because
that's 56%. Okay,
you know why?
We shot 35% through the 5 practice games. Okay,
because we're going to have a game where Curry's going to go for 7, 8 threes. We're just going to have a game like that.
You're probably right. I'll give you that.
And then we're going to have another game where KD, he might not go 5 of 5 every night, but it's going to be a balance out. But Tatum going to come in and make about 3 or 4 threes.
Okay, we talked about Devin Booker was just like nowhere to be found for those 5 practice games.
That, but it's a reason he was starting.
4 out of 5.
Yeah, it's a reason he's starting, but he plays both ends of the court. So you need guys like that. Devin, the one thing I do love about Devin's game, he doesn't have to have the ball either. And he brings balance to this lineup. Whereas if you have Tatum there, Tatum, Edwards, Bron, they kind of got to have the ball in their hands to make stuff go. You know, they got to go into their campaign. You know, so Devin's a good fit because he's more of a catch-and-shoot guy. But if you need him to get into his campaign and show his handle, he can do that. But it's a good fit. I like what Devin does. But we did say that the USA team had another level. Remember we said that?
But the crazy thing, though, Skip, you said will they go 18 to 32? Every last dude that's pulling a shot on the three, that's what they do for their team. They like they're literally three-point shooters. I mean, think about it.
Yeah, Devin Booker's never been a great three-point shooter.
Yeah, but he can shoot it.
Oh,
This three-pointer is more like a mid-range.
Yeah, I know. He's a mid-range shooter.
But this three-pointer in the Olympics is like a mid-range.
Oh, it is. It's a little
And, you know,
short.
Drew Holiday here and there, he going to knock down threes.
He does.
Obviously, Kevin, LeBron will hit a couple here and there.
Yeah.
Steph, obviously, is a machine in the three.
Now, maybe
Ant-Man
18 is a stretch. 18 is a stretch.
Man, that ain't a stretch, though, Paul.
Man, 18 for 32 is a stretch.
But you talking about 7 guys, 8 guys hitting 2 or 3 threes. That's all you're talking about. You're not talking about one guy hitting 18 shots. You're talking about several guys.
I say they can consistently hit 14, 15 threes a night.
Well, if they do, it's just
it's over.
Steamroll.
That's what it's about to be. It's about to be a steamroll.
Because
that's why you got the gold medal on right now.
Think about it. In a normal game, a normal NBA game, if LeBron went 1 for 3 from 3, you'd be like, okay, cool. Right? You would be like, okay, cool. If Steph Curry went 3 for 7, you'd be like, oh, he can go 4 for 7. He shot 7, he can go 4 for 7. You will take that all day long. Yeah. And that's exactly what he's giving
you. But KD's not going to go 5 for 5.
Okay, so say KD go 3 or 5. Let's say KD go 5 or 9. You're going to take that.
It's hard to get that many off, but KD, if anybody can, it can be him. Yeah.
So real quick, we got to go back to that play you talked about, the last play of the half. With 6 seconds left. This is all-time greatness to greatness to greatness because it's Steph, if we can see it, kicking for KD on the baseline. They drew it up in the dirt. He comes off, and then he shoots a fall away, probably got fouled, winds up on his back out of bounds in front of our bench, and our bench is out of its mind. Because when do you ever see this, man?
Just to be able to see it up close, you know what I'm saying? Like playing on your side now. Not being on the opposite end of it. You know what I'm saying? It's sort of like the All-Star game. It's like you play against these guys all the time. Then when you get in the All-Star game, you over there watching like, damn, LeBron is going off or KD is making these shots and it's for my team now. It's like you don't really think about it until it's like over. But it's pretty incredible.
Go one column over on the stats, and we only shot 10 free throws for the game and made 6. So we only made 6 free throws because
we made
everything. He missed 2.
Okay. Embiid missed 3.
3.
Yeah. Wasn't he 0 for 3? Yeah, he missed all 3 of his free throws. He's 90%.
Yeah.
Okay. And
that
Embiid,
ball, I'm saying, that's a different ball. That's a different feel.
I asked you that at the beginning of all this.
Yeah, I told you it was. It is.
It looked like a different ball.
And Embiid only played 11 minutes because they did three-headed monster against Joker, who played okay yesterday, but he was having, it's Bam and AD, and AD's gotten, he's going to get the bulk of the minutes. And yet, I got to bring this up. The most minutes played by anybody on our squad was LeBron at 27, and he was in the game late. Obviously, you have point differential in group play, so you want to keep the foot on the gas, but he is going on 40 years of age. Do you want him playing that many minutes this soon? You don't want to save him a little bit?
How many minutes he played?
We're only talking 6 games.
Well,
how many minutes he played?
5. They're going to come fast and furious, man. They're going to go every other night.
You said how many minutes he played? 28?
27, yeah.
That's not a lot of minutes, LeBron.
Okay, but it's only a 40-minute game.
Yeah, but it's still